Hello, everyone. That transition could have been a little better, but hey, welcome to the stream. Whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're watching this on Twitch, this is my chronological recap of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I am doing this in chronological order. For those of you who are watching this through YouTube, you guys were part of the Godzilla watch along. First of all, I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Because I don't want to just constantly talk and you guys are just like, we can't hear you, dumbass. But any case, just want to make sure I get some confirmation from the YouTube chat. I don't know if anyone's watching on Twitch. So far I have a total of 13 viewers. It seems like people can hear me. A-okay, okay, all right. We're all good. We're all fine here now, thank you. How are you? That's the next series I'm going to do a watch party for once the MCU's done. But anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome back. You guys were part of the Godzilla watch-along series. If you're watching this on Twitch, you missed out on that fun because I wasn't using Twitch last year. But now with 2021, I'm starting to use Twitch more often. And before we actually get started on the movie, I want to go over a few ground rules, especially for those of you watching this on Twitch, but it's also important that the YouTube people get a reminder as well. This is a watch-along series of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I cannot show... These are live, also. DeQuantate, it's been a while since I've seen your live stream, Alex. I'm glad you're doing... Well, yeah, I'm doing fine. We're all doing good here in the year of 2021. I just want to address the chat. Got a lot of familiar faces. Welcome, and I hope to see some newcomers, especially within Twitch. But anyway, given that this is a watch-along series and it is live, I can't actually show footage of the movie, but one of the things I've added is this little timestamp right there. So if you ever get lost in the movie, you know where... we are in the movie just with that little timestamp. And I can't show any footage because that would not please the YouTube gods. And I'm pretty sure it wouldn't please the Twitch gods either. I'm still new to Twitch, so I don't know all their ground rules. But in any case, I just don't want any comments about, man, you should show footage of the movie. I'm like, first of all, these are live. And second of all, that wouldn't sit well with the copyright people. Yeah, I just want to see. We have 13 people total. I don't know if that's just on YouTube or Twitch as well. Twitch, I have 3 people watching, and then YouTube, it is 10. So that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we're not gonna we're gonna just soon jump right onto this. But before we get to doing that, Razorbike, first of all, welcome to everyone who's in the chat, whether you were watching this on Twitch or YouTube. Razorbike on YouTube says, on Twitch, if you ever want to do a film on Amazon, you can do a watch-along of it and show the footage as long as people have Amazon Prime. Oh, good to know. Good to know. I'll definitely consider that in the future, although... in the future, I might end up, unless there were some MCU movies on Amazon Prime, but I might just, since I'm only doing the MCU, Star Wars, and Harry Potter exclusively for you guys, I'm planning to do Patreon watch-alongs exclusively for those who pledge to Patreon, which, speaking of which, WandaVision comes out next week. And I will be reviewing each individual episode for patrons who subscribe to the $4 tier or above. And but I will be reviewing the first episode and then the entire series, which will be available to everyone on YouTube. And if you're on Twitch, I just go to my newly updated schedule. I'm gonna have a lot of great content going on there. And I think we're good. Got 15 people watching now. Do not want to prolong this any longer. Most of those views are coming in from YouTube. Would prefer if people joined Twitch, but that's okay. Trying to... Rome wasn't built in a day, as they say. But yeah, we're gonna start this movie right here, Captain America: The First Avenger, as I mentioned beforehand. Excuse me if I just keep doing this. I have to lean into my computer every so often to set up things, like the timestamp for the movie, because I'm about to push the play button. Right, make sure you have it on Blu-ray or Disney Plus. That's another thing. You need to own the movie or have it on Disney Plus or another streaming site. So if you all are queued up, ready to go, we're going to start this watch along right about now. We're starting right with the Paramount logo. Probably should have taken all that stuff behind. Probably should have moved all that stuff before I started the stream. But you know, just Oh, for those of you who are James Bond 007 on YouTube says, I have Twitch as well, but I don't know what your name is on there. It's just Real Mr. Robinson. Yeah, just type in Real Mr. Robinson, one word. I'll pop up right there. I gotta say, this would have been a very... I feel like the MCU getting off the ground would have been very different had this been the first movie. Because you got Howard Stark in it, you have Nick Fury, you have references to Thor and Asgard and Odin, so... Not really a self-contained movie the way the first Iron Man was. DeQuan Tate from YouTube says, do you have a PlayStation 4 or 5? I don't have a PS5. I do have a PS4, though. And just 2 days ago, I did Battlefront 2. Yeah, sorry, I was distracted by this. The movie. Yeah, I did Battlefront 2 a couple days ago. And this Saturday, I'm going to be doing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. And then Sunday, according to my schedule, I'm going to just do random footage for Batman Arkham Asylum on the PS4. That might change, though. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is a lock. Batman Arkham Asylum might change, and that would be for Sunday. You know, I gotta say, I mentioned this when I re-reviewed this movie in prep for Endgame, but the first time I saw this movie was in 3D because I saw it at the Paramount lot because that was the only, and 3D was the only option we had. And being inside this ship, like this sequence here, where they're inside the Red Skull's ship, actually looked really cool in 3D. It was a post-conversion 3D as well, which made it even more impressive. Oh, it says Justin T1977. Follow me on Twitch. I assume that's Justin Toner. If it is, then welcome. If not, then that's a completely different Justin, and I welcome you to Twitch. Razorbike on YouTube says, sighs, I miss theaters. I do too. There's Filch. Or why am I... Okay, it's Filch or Finch. From Harry Potter. Joey's movie blog. This is the movie that shaped me to the person I am today. Awesome. And that comment was from YouTube. As awesome to hear, because this movie is really fantastic and very underrated, as James Bond 007 says. What Marvel... Daquan Tate on YouTube says, what Marvel hero and villain do you like to see in a movie? Well, first of all, Joey Strand... oh, the little icon works. Like, right here. Look. Oh, it disappeared. Anyway, that probably doesn't mean anything to y'all on YouTube, but that's a Twitch update. Joey Strandberg, welcome to Twitch. Thank you for following me. Definitely appreciate it. Shay Smithers on YouTube says, hey, Alexander, Happy New Year. I can't join in on tonight's, unfortunately, but I will definitely join in as much as I can for the future ones. Oh, sorry to hear, but yeah, definitely tune in next time. Thursday, since I'm doing these in chronological order, I gotta look at the camera instead of the computer. Yeah, right there. Jewel of Odin's Treasure Room. That would have made any sense had this movie been the first one released. But yeah, Thursday, since I'm doing these in chronological order, I'm going to be doing a watch party for Captain Marvel because it's set in the 90s. Turner Jenkins says, that's funny to hear that Cap is underrated where I think it's very popular. I think this movie is underrated. And even then, there are a lot of people that don't like this movie for some reason. But it's the sequels, Winter Soldier and Civil War, that everyone loves. And that made Steve Rogers Captain America the hero that he is. But admittedly, the sequels are better than this one. Oh, Daquan Tate, Moon Knight is going to be a Disney Plus series. They said Oscar Isaac is going to play the main character, but Feige didn't confirm that at Disney Investor Day. I love the sound the Tesseract makes. MODOK would be interesting. But for me, I think it's not so much new characters that I want to see as much as I think Doctor Doom needs to be done correctly this time. One of the most bizarre complaints I've heard about this movie when it first came out was that Captain America doesn't fight Nazis. I'm like, Hydra's the Nazi science division. So, yeah, he's fighting Nazis, all right. He's just not punching out Adolf Hitler. I used to be that skinny. Like, I hate to... Okay, maybe not that skinny, but there was actually a point in time, around the time this movie came out, where I actually was kind of skinny. Razorback. Yeah, that's how you pronounce Feige's last name. Kevin Feige. And it took me a while to really see it. Oh, I got some more. I got another follower on Twitch. Ooh, sorry. Sarah Sarah Diane Gent. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, but welcome. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited every time I get a Twitch follower. That's a clever bit of dialogue that goes into the alley scene. James Bond 007 says, Alex, I'm the Sarah Diane Gent account. That's fine. A Twitch follower is a Twitch follower. I will take it. There's Bucky Barnes. You know that guy must have been inspired. That bully must have been inspired by Biff Tannen. It is so bizarre. I gotta say, it's so weird. Even back in 2011, the technology they used to make Chris Evans so tiny, like, it looks so damn convincing. Oh yeah, then the World Expo was in Iron Man 2. So again, this movie kind of, even though I think it works better to watch the MCU in chronological order, you do need. There's a lot of nods to some of the past films, even if they're pretty subtle. That suit there, I think I heard somewhere that that's the original Human Torch suit before Johnny Storm. Do you think Bucky was a ripoff of Robin since Daquan Tate? Uh, I don't know who came first, actually. Like, that depends on who was created first. Man, Dominic Cooper is just so good as Howard Stark. Like, you really buy in the fact, you really buy into the fact that he is Tony Stark's dad. Oh, Spiders Prime says there's the first Human Torch. So yeah, thank you for confirming that. And then the music playing in the background is "Make Way for Tomorrow Today," which was actually composed by Richard Sherman for Iron Man 2. This movie does have a great, even if it's fantastical, it has a great period piece look to it. I wish there were more period piece comic book movies. It's pretty bold to keep doing this. Razorbyke on YouTube says, on the topic of Fantastic Four, I'm going to say this right now. I like the Tim Story films. they were some of the first superhero movies I ever saw, so I have a soft spot for them. I mean, they're great compared to the 2015 movie. But, oh yeah, that line will pop up later. Don't do anything stupid until I get back. How can I? You're taking all the stupid with you. Yeah, like I don't like the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies, but again, compared to the one that Josh Trank did, you look at those and go, well, I guess they're not all that bad. But honestly, I think the best Fantastic Four movie, and this isn't saying much, is the unreleased Roger Corman movie. Yeah, fucked up, Steve. Yeah, the way they introduce Steve Rogers, it's such a great way to introduce his character. Where it's just like his name's called, but he's reading a newspaper. He puts it down, and he's skinny as a rail. Razorpike says it's The Incredibles. Well, technically, yes, but I mean the movies. In terms of the movies that are called Fantastic Four, I think the Roger Corman one's the best. Yeah, that's a great line there that defines Steve. I don't want to kill anyone. I just don't like bullies no matter where they're from. Huh? Okay, you know what? I binged the MCU in chronological order before Endgame came out. I didn't realize that the moment where Dr. Erskine and Steve Rogers introduce themselves, Erskine says Queens, and then eventually Steve says Brooklyn. I didn't know that. It completely passed me by that same thing happens in Civil War when Steve Rogers asks Spider-Man where he's from. He says Queens, and then Steve says Brooklyn. Think Gzilla 100 on YouTube says, think we'll ever get the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong? Hopefully, man. Hopefully one day. Spider's Prime says Zola the pre-computer head. That was a nice reference, like, even if it's on the nose, to his comic book alternate, where it's like his head is in a body. Hey, Peggy. That is a straight up Biff Tannen type character, also. God bless Peggy Carter. Tommy Lee Jones is really just playing himself. Is that a personal attack? Razorbike says on YouTube says, "I'm mad they canceled her show." I actually haven't finished the second season. And it does suck that it only ran for 2 seasons, but it's kind of poetic that that her series ended in 2016, the same year Captain America: Civil War came out, when Peggy passed away. But Hayley Atwell is voicing Peggy Carter in the first episode of What If, because the first episode that Disney Plus is doing of What If is if Peggy Carter got the serum instead of Steve Rogers. I love this moment right here. Huh. Like this sequence is this moment is so good because it emphasizes, like, this whole training, this scene and the one coming up shows that why Steve Rogers is the best candidate, because, like, he may not be the strongest guy, but he is the smartest, and nobody said that you were supposed to just climb up the pole to grab the flag. And then there's this sequence that is like pure Captain America. Someone said, Justin Toner says Tommy Lee Jones has some of the best lines in this. He does, even if he's just playing Tommy Lee Jones. There's guts for you. Yeah, that's all the proof you need to know that Steve Rogers is the man for the serum. So, do we know the whole lineup of What If? I think what's confirmed is, at least that we saw from the trailer, is what if Peggy Carter got the super soldier serum? What if T'Challa was picked up by Yondu and the Ravagers instead of Peter Quill? And Chadwick Boseman's actually voicing T'Challa, so that will be his last performance as the King of Wakanda. and something involving Bucky Barnes and a zombie Steve Rogers. So far, that's all we know, and we know that Jeffrey Wright is voicing the Watcher. Yeah, like, getting back to that stupid criticism of how Captain America doesn't fight any Nazis. There's literally a Nazi flag flying behind Johann Schmidt. Okay, I love this movie, but some of those stock backgrounds are hilarious. Okay, I just realized my my time counter is a little slow. Like it's showing every 5 seconds. I mean, it's still going, but it's now it's picking. Whatever. Am I lagging to you guys? On either end, like YouTube or Twitch? Because it seems like the timestamp is a little laggy, but am I laggy? Chummy on YouTube says, hey. Oh yeah, there's a cat here. It's a funny line. James Bond 007 says, on YouTube says, I think Twitch is ahead of YouTube. That's okay. That's fine. Gzilla 100 says, "Will you review the Justice League Snyder Cut when it comes out?" Yes, I will. I'm not looking forward to reviewing it. Not so much of whether or not I think it's going to be terrible, because honestly, I think it will be terrible. But more, I don't want to have to deal with those Snyder cults. I don't have to deal with the Snyder Cut fans. Uh, Razorbike says, what kind of cat is that? It's a black cat. Okay, like, I see people saying, like, by 20 seconds. Does that mean am I out of sync when I talk? Of course, we'll have to wait for that reveal later. Uh, yeah, GZL 100. I'd say Star Wars fans are still worse, which makes me a little. Wait, makes me a little nervous about actually doing the Star Wars saga as the next Watch Party series. Okay, people are saying the timestamp is just off. Or ahead on other. That's weird. Well, I mean, as long as you guys have the movie synced up perfectly, or at least close enough, I think that's important. And the timestamp is just a little frame of reference. I know, again, it's CG manipulation, but it's really weird. Like, I really buy into the fact that Chris Evans is as skinny as a rail. And to see him smaller than Hayley Atwell is kind of weird also. All right, I'm going to check the individual... only 2 people are watching on Twitch. Whatever, that's... I'll keep building up my audience. Because, again, I don't expect it to all happen overnight. I'm going to keep putting the work into Twitch later on. It says I have 9 followers, so that's a good thing, even if only 2 people are watching. Let's see. Gzilla100 on YouTube says, are you going to watch the special edition of Star Wars or the original versions? Well, I mean, for the sequel trilogy, it doesn't matter because those are unaltered. It doesn't really matter for the prequels either, but for the original trilogy, I'm just going to do special editions because they're easier to get a hold of, even if they're very controversial. But I'm going to be watching with A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. It's going to be a while before I get to Star Wars, but with A New Hope and Return of the Jedi, I'm going to watch the DVD special editions from 2004 because I can't watch the Blu-ray in its entirety. How about 10 sandwiches? Oh, my thing on Twitch just says just chatting. I have to fix that. Can I edit? No. Oh, edit. Sorry, folks, if I'm off. Use the quick action to enable... Huh. I'll change it in post. Huh. Razorbike says Be warned, Twitch has been pretty wonky these past couple of days. You mean glitchy, or like are there some copyright stuff that I should be concerned about? Glitchy. Okay. Whatever, that's fine. I can take glitchy. Though I think it's been... Okay, whatever. It's fine. But in terms of the category, I'm going to have to fix that to watch parties instead of just chatting. There's a great parallel to that at Endgame with Bruce Banner and the Gauntlet. Is he dead? There's a beefcake right there. Like, it is crazy the, like, workout routine Marvel sends these people through. That little touch moment, that was improvised by Hayley Atwell. That's yeah. Chris Evans is done with Cap. I mean, if he pops up in a what if, then that wouldn't require much work outside of voiceover. And now he's playing the inspiration for Buzz Lightyear, which is funny. But I could see Chris Evans voicing a character like that. It is really funny that both Tony Stark and Steve Rogers' origins are very similar in the sense that they have a mentor that dies when they really become the hero. But yeah, I mean, with Steve Rogers, the Steve Rogers' story is done, so there's no real reason for Chris Evans to reprise the role. Again, unless it's a what if. Razorbyte, please don't let him pull a Robert Downey Jr. and do something like Doolittle. Hey, Chris Evans' next movie after Endgame, after retiring from Captain America, was Knives Out, so I think he's good. You know, it's funny seeing the there was behind the scenes footage when there was behind the scenes footage before this movie came out. It was really, like, it's funny seeing them film this scene, and Chris Evans has these really like big fake feet. Now I know part of the New York setting here, like they filmed parts of this in London, I believe, and then parts of this on New York Street at the Universal lot. Huh? Which God, I miss that place. Like that shot back there. That's new. That was Universal. You know, in normal circumstances, I would joke in saying dead with the car rolling over that many number of times, but those cars in the '40s are pretty sturdy. I like this moment coming up. That water's filthy, but I like this moment here. like, like we've seen so many instances where the hero's given a position of either chase the bad guy or save the helpless kid or citizen, whatever. And here we get a kid that's like, "No, go get him! I can swim." Whoop! Ugh. Like I know it's a cyanide tooth, but seeing seeing anyone with missing teeth is just like, ugh, like it creeps me out sometimes. Gzilla 100 on YouTube says, "Sorry, I've been invested in the movie. Who thinks Godzilla and Kong will team up in the new movie? God, I hope not. Like, like the last thing I want uh, is for Godzilla versus Kong to pretty much be like Batman versus Superman. Like that moment where Schmidt's just counting the number of German officers before setting up everything. Like that, like it's like they get turned into burnt paper. So now, I mean, I get this is the point where I do kind of get the criticism of Captain America doesn't fight Nazis, but again, technically Hydra did spawn from the Nazi Party, um, but I do get, but at this point, it's like now the Allied forces are fighting two. Well, no, actually more than two, because it was the Nazis. I believe Japan. I know Japan was against us at the time. I think Italy. Well, it's mainly you had. Well, at this point, you had two main forces now. James Bond 007 says, "Why do those blasts sound like one of Iron Man's laser beams?" Because that is the same sound effect. Because at the end of this movie, Howard Stark gets a hold of the Tesseract, which is used to power Schmidt's weapons, so everything kind of falls into place. Justin Toner says, why did you decide to watch the MCU in chronological order and not release order? Because I watched it in chronological order and prep for Endgame 2 years ago. God, 2 years ago. And Germany, Japan, and Italy, so I was right. But anyway, like, if you start the Infinity, like, it's very fitting that you start with Captain America, the First Avenger, if you watch it in chronological order, because the very last scene in Avengers Endgame is Steve Rogers going back to the 40s to be with Peggy Carter, where he finally gets that dance. After the final line in this movie was, "I had a date." So it makes more sense to me. This is one of the most clever things that the MCU has done, especially when it comes to explaining a costume. Because if you all remember the Captain America movie from the 90s, like they just gave him the outfit and it looked ridiculous. It had the fake ears. But the fact that they introduced the costume as like a stage show costume is so clever. And also the fact that they go all out with this like musical number, I think is a stroke of genius. And this whole song was actually written by Alan Menken, who is now a Gat I for EGOT. Yeah, Alan Menken actually wrote this song, or at least had was involved in it heavily. And it's just such a clever piece. I have actually seen one of the first Ultimate Avengers movie. I think it was after the year after Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk came out. Fuck you, Hitler. Fuck you, Hitler. Fuck you, Hitler. Fuck you, Hitler. So, and also that, where they, like, actually incorporate the comics into this universe. Like, it's actually, like, if there was one sequence to where I think this movie doesn't get the credit that it deserves, it would be this. That actress right there, I forget her name, but she ends up playing Peter Quill, Star-Lord's mom, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies. So maybe she's Star-Lord's granddaughter. Maybe she's Star-Lord's grandmother. Tell some jokes. Where do you get to? Where, I know it's an old cliche, but where the hell did you get tomatoes, especially in World War II, in Germany? Um, Dancing monkey right there. Oh, that was Italy. Okay, my bad. I wasn't paying attention. I clearly was not paying attention to the text. The roads are made out of tomatoes. Dun dun dun. Wow. Wait, wait, I've been hypnotized? Is that what that comment's supposed to imply? Since the difference, like if that's the case, that you're referring to me as being hypnotized, uh, it's a little harder for me to go back and forth because unlike with the Godzilla movies, which most of them are in Japanese and subtitled, I have to like pay attention to what they're saying rather than just read subtitles. Dove's movie reviews. Hey there. Coincidence that those two should be missing. Huh. Huh. It's like I'm not even going to respond to that idiotic question. Here's what you need. Yeah, someone mentioned, yeah, Spider's Prime that they really went with the ultimate look, the his look in World War II for the Ultimates. I want to go back to the Snyder Cut for a second. Since it is on HBO, it's on. It's gonna be on HBO Max in 4 parts. On my Patreon page, I'm gonna be reviewing each part individually, and then I'll do a full-on review on YouTube. Hey, there's Dum Dum Dugan with the bowler hat. I'm gonna shove it up your ass. Oh, sorry to hear about sorry to hear about your grandmother's passing, Razorbike. I hope you're doing well. I hope these watch parties give you some fun. Oh, sorry to hear that, Turner Jenkins. Yeah, school is cruel, but it's also very important. I hope you're, if you're going to actual in classes, I hope you're staying safe, uh, because we may be in a new year, but we are not out of this pandemic yet. So yeah, have a good night. Hope to see you next time. he just like he just whooshed off a camera. Razorback says, I go back in person on the 20th. Ooh, be safe, huh? All college classes here in LA seem to be online for the time being. Yeah, as they should, huh? Sure, just go ahead and touch the... Okay, it's like a clip, so it's probably fine. Even though it's glowing. Huh! I just love how, with Dum Dum Dugan, the army's perfectly fine with that handlebar mustache and a bowler hat. God love his confidence for actually not being... Oh, no, you know what? He was trained as a soldier. But, yeah, I give him confidence for actually going into a battlefield for the first time and just taking charge. Now, I think it's confirmed that Peter Parker's high school principal is like the ancestor of that soldier. That the soldier from Fresno. I'm forgetting the actor's name. Yeah, one of the things... Yeah, not familiar with the Invaders or Bucky's Teen Squad, but I know that it was a smart decision to not make Bucky a kid. We'll meet again, Captain America. Okay, so if I'm correct, if the sequels implied anything, Bucky's already been experimented on at this point, huh? And Zola just continues his experiments once he's recovered in that time gap between this movie and Winter Soldier. That is the worst German accent I've ever heard. I know, I'm ashamed of it, so I apologize. I can't do a German accent very well. Can't do a good German accent. Now, all those explosions back there were CG, but I wonder if, like, the initial explosions were miniatures, because it looked real. And also this hero villain dynamic, even if Steve Rogers and Johann Schmidt aren't on screen a lot, it's a good contrast because they're both products of Erskine, where like Steve Rogers was the super soldier serum working out well, whereas with Schmidt it worked out it went terribly wrong. Like really, Steve Rogers and Johann Schmidt are two sides of the Erskine coin. And that makeup definitely looks better than the 1990s movie. Yeah, exactly. He looks better than he did in the 90s. But I don't even think this makeup job is bad for the Red Skull. It looks like it looks really good. I mean, there's some parts where the makeup looks fake, but most of the time it's pretty convincing. The Hydromobile. I knew it. Yeah, dead. By the way, that music that was playing as Steve Rogers was lining up to run, um, that same piece of music is used in Endgame when it's revealed that Cap's worthy. Oh yeah, the okay. The store. I'm planning to, assuming Black Widow does come out this year, uh, whether it's in theaters or they just put it on Disney Plus Premium. I'm going to. Is that a good movie? No, the '90s Captain America is not a good movie. But oh no, you're talking about the Rocketeer. You know, I was actually planning to watch. I actually tried to watch the Rocketeer before doing this, just so I'd have more of a frame of reference. Uh, but I just didn't have time. But anyway, the 1990s Captain America. originally the Canon Group, um, when back in the 80s, they just made low budget movies. They were trying to go big and make big blockbusters as well, which included Over the Top, Masters of the Universe, and Superman 4: The Quest for Peace. And if Superman 4 was successful, they were going to do Superman 5, a Spider-Man movie, and a Captain America movie. But because Superman 4 failed, that movie actually killed the Canon Group. The two producers actually split off. And one of them ended up making a Captain America movie for like $5 million. Like some really ridiculously low amount of money. But hopefully, again, if Black Widow does come out this year, I do plan to review Howard the Duck, the 90s Captain America movie, and Ang Lee's Hulk leading up to it. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully by May things get better, but at this point you'd never know. Yeah, Captain America. Good on him. Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that Alan Silvestri's scores for the MCU, especially his theme for the Avengers, is excellent. Like the Avengers theme really is up there with John Williams' Superman theme and Danny Elfman's Batman theme. Hi, Stanley. You know, the ironic part about that cameo is that Stan Lee is basically the head guy for was basically the creator of Marvel Comics, but Stan Lee didn't actually create Captain America. It was Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. There's Natalie Dormer. Yeah. Alan Silvestri's best score, without a doubt, is Back to the Future. You know, it is funny that Wonder Woman is pretty much the DCEU version of Captain America: The First Avenger, right down to like having this scene right here, where the heroes discussing with their team members the mission plan. I think this movie's better than Wonder Woman, but hey, with Wonder Woman, you steal from the best. Razorback, have you not seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's a fantastic movie. Like it's absolutely great. Tour canceled until further notice. So, are they just not getting anyone to take over his like role as Captain America in the shows? I will say, like, Sebastian Stan has more charisma as Bucky Barnes than he actually does as the Winter Soldier. But then again, like, he's not all there as the Winter Soldier, so it makes sense. His face is just shredded. She is horny for Steve. Very straightforward. Has my opinion changed on Wonder Woman 1984? It hasn't, but I've only seen it once. I haven't had the time to watch it again. Uh, yeah, that line, Hydra's not going to attack you with a pocket knife. Wait until Winter Soldier. We'll see what happens then. Huh. Just let her get it all out. Let her vent. God, I love this woman. Hold on, folks. I apologize for doing this. I'm trying to grab some water. And this is my least favorite part about the movie. Not that it's bad, but it's just like it's this big action scene where Captain America's finally in action, kicking ass with the shield, and they decide to montage it. Again, Steve Rogers is the smartest guy in the room. I also love how Steve Rogers doesn't like he's a team player and doesn't really steal like try to be the big hero at the end of the day. Yeah, that's definitely going to pop up throughout this series. Yeah, it's like there's so many moments with the end of this movie and the locket that makes it makes sense to watch this series in chronological order because you start with all those little moments in this movie and then it all comes back in Endgame. Oh, that looked terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna have to rewatch Wonder Woman 1984, but I don't get the hate for it. Like I honestly, I think like it's probably on the level. You know, I can't say because I haven't watched it again, but I would take that movie above Batman versus Superman any day of the week. Oh, sorry for the close up on my ear. Sorry again. I'm trying to fix the Twitch. I'm trying to set my the stream on Twitch's end to say watch parties instead of just chatting. So just bear with me as I move in and out. Oh, maybe it's right here. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's still not working. Come on. You know, I love that. Okay, I'll just take care of the Twitch thing after the stream and make sure I get it right for Captain Marvel on Thursday. But I love how Harley Quinn just has a scenario like this in the animated show. God, Harley Quinn is so good. But it's like Harley Quinn's trying to steal a nuke. Joker and his goons come in and steal it. It's like, the only reason you're getting this and not me is because you got a bunch of goons that do whatever you say. That's not true, goons. Throw Harley out. Whatever you say, boss. Like, you have to think that that moment in Harley Quinn was inspired by this sequence in this movie. That I know it's supposed to be a shocking revelation, but that was some terrible green screen when Bucky was falling to his death. Oh yeah, the Bucky Cap homage, which, I mean, for the longest time, I didn't think. I thought that Bucky should have been the one to take over as Steve Rogers, or no, not Steve Rogers, as Captain America over Falcon, just because in the MCU we've seen Bucky with the shield. We haven't seen Sam Wilson with the shield, but hey, it's cool that like now that they've actually established that Sam Wilson's going to be the next Captain America. It actually makes sense considering that Bucky's still not all there. Huh? And there are a lot of events in Winter Soldier that it makes sense why Steve would pick Sam over Bucky. And with Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out in March, I think it's going to be exciting to see him kick ass as the new Captain America, even though he's still going to be the Falcon. Oh, you mean there was actually no poison in that meat? God, now I just want a steak. Yeah, that's the other thing that James Bond 007 says on YouTube. Bucky was a murderer, and the public doesn't know that he was under mind control. So if Bucky was given the mantle of Captain America, people would be like, why him? So yeah, again, it makes sense. Like, now that we've actually seen that Sam Wilson's going to be the next Captain America, it makes perfect sense. And I'm on board with that. Oh, the score playing in the background is the first piece of music, or that little. There was a little piece of it that was the opening music for the first Avengers film. Oh yeah, that's right. U.S. Agent is going to be in Falcon the Winter Soldier. That's a lot of Hydra people. Oh, Razorback! Congratulations on turning 18. You will now be a legal adult. Huh? So that is awesome for you. I had to say, like, just just like randomly, just off topic. Not really off topic, but I am so glad that I have this timer, this timestamp right here, because that's probably the most helpful thing I've added to these live streams. Steve Rogers in a bombed out village. Where did he find alcohol in there? One of the things I had to say with Steve Rogers, like I know there are a lot of comic book heroes out there that have a no kill policy, um, and it's a good policy to stand by because otherwise they're no better than the. Sometimes they're no better than the hero, than the villain. I'm sorry, but like it makes sense for Batman not to kill anyone because all lives are valuable, especially considering that the thing that made him Batman are his parents being murdered. Superman just wants to save everyone, so it makes sense why he's not. He doesn't kill people. With Steve Rogers, though, it's like he tries his best not to kill people, but it's not a rule that he lives by because he's technically a soldier. Like this is a war, so if people get killed, that's the price of war. Okay, there's a Wilhelm scream coming up very soon. That dude's on fire. There it is. I still love I still love the use of the Wilhelm scream in monster trucks, where it's like just a guy looking at the camera. He opens his mouth and then the scream is just there. Yeah, this scene, like, because we're no longer in montage mode, this sequence here, we get a really good idea of how the shield works. Like, how it's such a cool weapon. And we get to see how Steve strategically, like, plans his shield attacks. And it doesn't just come back to him. Oh, yeah. 2020 just called. Technically 2021. All Americans are ignorant as fuck right now. I gotta say, I know, like, I shouldn't question this comic book logic, but it is convenient that vibranium is resistant against those Hydra weapons that were made through the power of the Tesseract. Considering that, like, it's technically a space. The Tesseract is the Space Stone. So it may, like, it's pretty lucky that I'm rambling, but you kind of get the point what I'm trying to say. Oh, those poor bastards that got whisked away by Hydra weapons. All right, see, I don't know if the guys that get killed by those Hydra guns, if they got flown off into space or if they actually disintegrated. I would think they just got disintegrated. Yeah, exactly. James Bond 007 summed it up best. It's convenient that Cap got a shield made from the strongest metal on Earth before going up against people with weapons powered by a space stone. You know, I gotta say, since I saw I didn't see the I didn't see the 1990s Captain America movie in full until a couple years ago. But I'd seen the Nostalgia Critics review, so I kind of saw it already because of that review. So when this movie came out, I was so concerned of like how this movie would fare out because it has to follow like it's fully set in the 1940s, so it would have to like how would I care since the 90s movie didn't make me care at all. How would this movie fare? And this movie really, again, for being one of my favorite of the series and one of my 100 favorite movies of all time, this movie did a damn good job making me care about Captain America, especially when we get to this climax. That was a straight up Fast and Furious shot right there. Yeah, again, Tommy Lee Jones is just playing himself, but he does have some great lines. This One of my favorite moments coming. Oh, look, Hydra is attacking you with a pocket knife even before Winter Soldier came out, and Hydra got killed by a pocket knife. 8 MCU movies. So, First Avenger, Iron Man, Winter Soldier, Civil War, the First Avengers. No, no, it would be like 5. But I'll have to do a full list. But okay, here comes one of my favorite shocking moments in this entire movie. Like, this moment came up and I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. like like that Hydra soldier gets thrown into it. Like, he flies into that propeller and you see it happen. Like, I love that moment just because, like, it's so out of nowhere and so brutal and so quick. And crash landing. I think I like. I have to check my I have to go back to my watch along. No, my MCU ranking video, but I think Black Panther. I think I like this a little better than Black Panther. But Black Panther is definitely my top 10. Spider's Prime says, another happy landing. Oh, this music playing. There's a really funny that music that was just playing back there. There's a funny blooper from the Avengers where Kobe Smulders is like, Coulson, Coulson, no, God, you were the greatest man I ever knew. Like, it's, and Alan Silvestri's score is just playing at that moment. It's funny. Yeah, the Star Wars prequels are memorable, but not always for the right reasons. So yeah, for the longest time, since we didn't get a decisive answer on what happened to the Red Skull, I thought he either really was dead or he just got transported to Asgard. Especially since Loki and Thor used the Tesseract at the end of the first Avengers to get back to Asgard. But nope, he's off to Vormir, and we won't see him for several movies from now. Oh yeah, this Red Skull ship is very much like the Argo from King of the Monsters. No, he's not, but that's okay. He didn't know. You know, like again, comparing this to the yeah, bringing up the '90s Captain America movie, uh, and I've said this in my chronological recap video 2 years ago, but when Steve Rogers gets frozen in ice for at the time that movie came out, about 50 years, 45 years, I think. It's laughable. It's hilarious. How he gets frozen in ice. But in this movie, it's it's kind of sad. It's sad. Like it's not kind of sad. It is sad. Yeah, like right here, it's like both of them know Steve's not gonna make it. So like they're just having this conversation, setting up a date to comfort each other. Yeah, and then again, going back to why I think it's a great idea to watch this series in chronological order. The ending to both the first Avenger and Endgame are so poetic because this music also plays in Endgame when Steve gives Sam the shield. Um, but it's supposed to be an inspiring moment instead of a tragic moment right here. And then, of course, this movie ends with Steve being stolen from the 40s and put in a new time period without getting to dance with Peggy. And Endgame ends with him finally getting that dance. So what? So that's why I just think it's better to. I like now that the Infinity Saga is done. That's why I feel like it's better to start with this movie and end with Endgame. Even if technically Spider-Man Far From Home comes after Endgame. But, I mean, technically, like, even though Spider-Man Homecoming's part of Phase 3, I would argue that Spider-Man Homecoming is the first movie of the new era of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What are your thoughts on Thing from Another World? I'd never seen it. I've seen John Carpenter's Thing. I didn't see the one that Howard Hawks produced. Right Guy 2015. Hi there. Late. You're late, but hey, better late than never. I'm doing good. Yeah, sorry guys if I just like it seems like I'm talking to you guys, but I'm staring right here because my computer's right there. And I have to read your chat questions, and that sometimes I just forget to look directly at the camera and address you guys. So, yeah, just I'm gonna have to get like with this new setup, I'm gonna have to get used to how it works. Yeah, it's always poetic. I always felt like it was incredibly poetic to begin with the first Avenger and then end with Endgame. Razorback says, I was so happy when it showed that he was okay. Yeah, I mean, the next movie was The Avengers, so they'd obviously have to show him uh, be alive in modern day. Some Shield intern screwed up right there. It's like, could you have picked a could you have picked a game to broadcast on a radio from after World War II, maybe? Razorback says, you gotta remember, I had no clue who the Avengers were or anything about Marvel at the time, as I was only about 8. So, okay, that makes sense. God, this movie is 10 years old. Like, wow, this movie is 10 years old. That's nuts. And that's the end of the movie. So yeah, so obviously with the MCU, there's going to be post-credit sequences. So in between now and the remaining time that we have, like 10 minutes of credits, I'm just going to try to do random Q&A. There are 9 people watching total. I don't know how many people are watching on Twitch. Still 2 viewers. Okay. But yeah, that's Captain America: The First Avenger. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, another reason why it's fun to watch the MCU in chronological order is because we get to see Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury at the end of this movie, and then Captain Marvel, which we'll do Thursday. Um, we get a lot of time spent with a young Nick Fury when he's an agent of Shield. So there are a lot of advantages to watching the series in chronological order. And I know Marvel planned this entire Infinity Saga out, but I don't think they planned it like enough to the point where it works perfectly if you watch the series in chronological order. But yeah, that's yeah, it's a really good ending. A really like good last line. And again, the fact that Endgame ends with them finally getting their date is I've said this word thousands of times, but it's pure poetry right there. It rhymes, as George Lucas would say. Kenneth Choi, that's the actor who would end up playing the principal at Peter Parker's high school later on in the series. So yeah, not much going on. I'm just gonna, I'll treat the credit sequence, like, as we go through the credits, I'm gonna treat this, the rest of the time we have on this chat, as just interacting with you guys, or just addressing some stuff. Razorbike says, I recently replayed the GTA 5 campaign. It is so good. Yeah, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 is such a great story, but at the same time, it also kind of turned me into a cynical bastard. Like this song. Yeah, that was Natalie Dormer. Anyway, how have I been since King of the Monsters? Fine. I worked a temporary production assistant job, so at least I got to earn some money. Thanksgiving, Halloween, and Christmas were fine for the best, like, the most we could do in this pandemic. Yeah, King of the Monsters was the last watch party that I held. I'm going to start calling these watch parties from now on. And I just got too busy with stuff to actually do the MCU. My original plan was to actually start the MCU at a point where when I got to Iron Man 3, I could do it either on or around Christmas, since Iron Man 3 has become a Christmas movie in its own way. But yeah, it actually worked out that I waited for the new year because I can now stream to Twitch. Which, speaking of which, if you're watching this on Twitch, either live or afterwards, I recommend that you check out my Twitch schedule. This Thursday, I will be doing Captain Marvel because, I'm doing the series in chronological order. And Saturday, I'll be doing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. Almost said 5, God forbid. I haven't played 5, but I've heard it's terrible. And then Sunday, I'll be doing Batman Arkham Asylum. Just random messing around in Arkham Asylum, beating people up. It should be fun. William Clark says, I would love it if the MCU did a limited series of Cap's Adventures in World War II. Oh, you know what? You say that, but if I'm correct, Agent Carter, one of the little elements in that show was that there was actually a radio broadcast that was pretty much like the Captain America radio serials. And that would be funny if Marvel actually did like a podcast that was that. If Marvel Studios actually produced something like that. Daquan Tate says, what is my next retro review? It will be tomorrow. If you go to my community tab on YouTube, you will get idea of what my next retro review series is, and I gotta say, it's gonna be a long one. And by long, I mean it's gonna span an entire year. And Razorbike said, I turn off the credits because the end credits is just the teaser trailer for Avengers. And it is, but screw it, I still like watching it. And yeah, it's one of those rare instances where, like, it's rare that you go to a movie and then at the end of it, you see a complete trailer for the next movie. Because technically the trailer they show at the end of this movie for the Avengers is a complete trailer. Oh, the brothers Strauss were technical supervisors on this. Huh, that's interesting. Yeah, for those of you who don't know the brothers Strauss, they directed Aliens vs. Predator Requiem, which is my second or third most hated movie of all time. Like, I'm still... it's probably third. But, and then they did Skyline, which is terrible, but hilarious in its own way. Razorback says war flashbacks to AVPR. Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, they're technical supervisors before they actually went into directing, and I think they went back to being technical supervisors because their directing career just couldn't get off the ground. But hey, good for them for getting work back in what they know best. But yeah, back to the back to the trailer for the Avengers playing at the end of this movie. I don't think there's ever been another movie where it had a trailer for the next installment that I can think of outside of Back to the Future Part 2, when the end of that movie had a trailer for Part 3. Okay, let's see. Oh, I thought Alan Menken... Oh, okay, I guess I was wrong. I could have sworn Alan Menken... Okay, here we go. Star Spangled Man. Music by Alan Menken. Lyrics by David Zeppelin. Produced by Alan Menken. Performed by the Star Spangled Man... Ah. That was messed up, but... So yeah, I was right that Alan Menken did have something to do with that song. So yeah, we're approaching the trailer for the Avengers. I'm just gonna do. You know what? I don't know if I have enough time, but anyway, as we let this play out, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to this live stream. Sorry if it started a little late. I had some technical issues, and this is my first time actually doing the stream through Streamlabs, which is why I'm able to stream to both YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. And here we get the trailer. Bam! Yeah, it's like I had no idea. Like we'd all knew that the Avengers was coming, but like for a full teaser trailer to play at the end of this movie, like that was just the confirmation of, oh shit, this is actually happening. Like like an Avengers movie's actually coming true. Yeah, we'll meet up with all those heroes in due time. But yeah, that's Captain America: The First Avenger. With that, I'm going to stop the count up, the timestamp counter. Want to thank you guys for watching, tuning in. If you're watching this through YouTube, I encourage you to go over to my Twitch account. Either just follow, or if you want to help. You could get, if you want to help the Twitch channel in any way, go subscribe, get like a few months of a subscription to help financially. If you're watching this on Twitch and you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, I highly encourage you to do that, because that is where all my movie reviews are posted. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff this year. And keep your eyes open, whether you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube. This Thursday at the same time, 6 p.m. will be my watch along for Captain Marvel. And yeah, got a lot of stuff coming up. Tomorrow I have a movie review being posted on YouTube. Then Saturday and Sunday will be more Twitch streaming on the PlayStation 4. If you all love what I'm doing and you want to help support, if you want to help support financially, I should say, because I was about to say if you want to help support the channel financially, but I'm streaming on two platforms. You could go to patreon.com/The Real Mr. Robinson. When WandaVision comes out, I will be reviewing each individual episode for my $4 tier and up, and I got a lot more patron rewards there if you pledge. If you can't support the channel financially, that's totally fine. Your subscriptions on YouTube and your follows/subscriptions on Twitch are good enough. The fact that you support this channel in any way is well appreciated. And yeah, I think I'm going to cut things off right here. And until next time, this is the real Mr. Robinson telling you there is only one. That doesn't quite work out because